Li Sang became a famous general in the Three Kingdoms, with a horse speed of less than 3 minutes. He was horrified to find that he had made the decision to station troops in Gushan. The last act of life is about to be staged, sending myself away. Faced with such a collapse, start. You can't hold it in any longer. At this time, Lieutenant General Wang Ping is begging in your ear. General, you can't camp on the mountain. If the Zhanghe River cuts off our army's water source, our army can only be trapped in Gushan. Just sit back and wait for death. Today is not the first time that Wang Ping has advised you not to station yourself on the mountain. From what he knows, you don't want to be the worst. It must be set up on the mountain and promised to Han Xian. He persuaded you many times. Wang Ping felt that his life was really miserable. Why didn't Ma Su listen to him? Wang Ping has already made up his mind. If you don't listen to him today, even at the risk of being punished by the Prime Minister, he also wants to take his Wudang flying army to defend the river valley. After you are defeated, he could at least preserve the strength of the Han dynasty. Delay the scandal. Wang Ping gave some more advice. I saw you didn't answer. I was very disappointed. Handed over and prepared to resign. I didn't expect it at this time. You grabbed Wang Ping's hand. At the same time, the sound is amplified. Zijuan. Could it be that I don't know how to fight? In the past, Marquis Huayin fought a last-ditch battle in Jingxing. It opened the way for Emperor Gaozu to conquer the world. Could it be that Su couldn't reproduce the style of Marquis Huayin today? For the Prime Minister, for His Majesty the Emperor. Stand firm for the big man at the Longyeoyang Citadel. Soviet SS reinforcements. Wang Ping is fierce. He thought you figured it out by holding him back. Not on Lonely Troubled Hands Mountain. I didn't expect to still be shouting here. Insist on learning from Han Xian and fight against the odds. It's not my horse that joins the army. What kind of status is that soldier immortal? How many kilograms do you have? This is the first time I lead troops and dare to compete with the soldier immortal. I think you take good care of me. Wang Ping pays a lot of attention to you, but he won't say it knowingly. Even when he advises you, the words are all very polite. After all, you are a direct descendant of Imaging. No, he is a detailed general. You can speak sarcastically. Wang Ping was even more disappointed and sad. I want to pull my hand back. Ready to say goodbye. Order the troops to leave the mountain and guard the valley. But I saw that you didn't even look at him. Wang Ping looked confused. This is you. You saw Wang Ping stunned for a moment. Cough slightly. Then he took Wang Ping's hand. Walk over to the wooden table. You flicked the pen flame on the wooden table. Sweep to the ground. At the same time, he cursed loudly. Wang Ping, you have to rely on your military qualifications to get some food. You are an illiterate fool. What does it taste like? During the Three Kingdoms period, calling someone by name was tantamount to swearing. And Wang Ping has always been for himself. I can't write and I feel a little inferior. At this point you scoff loudly. He is illiterate and cannot read. Wang Ping's face turned red with anger. This Ma Su is so annoying. But this person is a direct descendant of the Prime Minister. Wang Ping gritted his teeth and took out his hand. Said angrily, I will say goodbye at the end. Your life is a clerical job. Being pulled away by the General Wang Ping. I almost lost my footing. When you see Wang Ping, he is about to leave angrily. There was a groan in my heart. I grabbed the topographical map of Jieting on the table. He walked quickly to Wang Ping, blocking Wang Ping's way. Wang Ping was very angry. Just let Ma Su scold him in person. I don't want him to leave now. I would rather have a 3-point temper. It's about fists and feet. Wang Ping is not afraid of you. Looking at Wang Ping's eyes, he couldn't hide the look in his eyes that wanted a knife. You know that Wang Ping hasn't understood what you mean yet. So, you unfold the topographic map of Jie Pavilion in front of Wang Ping. Pointing to the location of Jieting River Valley, said a few words in a low voice. You lead the army to camp here. Wang Ping heard what you said. For a moment, I felt so disappointed at being insulted by you that I became indifferent. Feeling a little emotional. General, this is you. But you kicked him over. A wooden decoration in the tent. A banging snake. Interrupted Wang Ping. Wang Ping paused. But he saw you winking at him again. Then he said angrily, don't try to persuade me. Could it be that General Wang is afraid that I have made great achievements? Wang Ping immediately understood what you meant. You really have to act. So Wang Ping also kicked him. Inside the camp, there is another wooden decoration. Shouted loudly, Ma Su, don't think that you are favored by the Prime Minister. You can do whatever you want. The General and Lieutenant General are demonstrating with their lives. After finishing speaking, Wang Ping also lowered his voice. May I ask what General Ma's plan is? You kicked another wooden ornament. Then he pulled Wang Ping back to the dark table. Expand the court map. He pointed at the dangerous monster and whispered. General Wang acted cautiously. I want General Wang. Set up camp in this dangerous place. Be sure to block Zhang He. Don't let him pass the court. Wang Ping originally wanted to do this. Now I listen to you. An excited look appeared on his face. General, don't worry. I must stop Zhang He here. No soldiers or clans of Wei State were allowed to pass through the court. Wang Ping is also a veteran on the battlefield. Naturally, I understand, as long as I can stand in the court. Zhang He was unable to help the situation in Shanghai. Then the Prime Minister can stop Long Yu for moves. With a heart to restore the Han dynasty, great things are expected. But Wang Ping calmed down. He went to fight in Daoza. So what do? You see that Wang Ping already understands what you mean. I felt defeated in my heart. Historically, after you failed to defend the court, it was the safe Wang Ping who relied on Lei Gu to support him. Delayed the defeat of the Han army. Lead the Han army to evacuate safely. Now leave the task of guarding the courtyard to Wang Ping. Even if you die, the Prime Minister's plan for 1 or 2 weeks. You won't be hit hard. In this way, based on the Prime Minister's ability, Chang'an can definitely be conquered. You looked at Wang Ping and said, General Wang, I remember the Prime Minister asked you to take it. 3,000 Wudongfei troops participated in the battle. There is no flying army. This can be regarded as the famous special forces of Shu Han. It was Prime Minister Zhuge Liang who pacified Nanzhong. It was formed by reorganizing and training the Nanzhong barbarians. Good at mountain warfare. Wang Ping knew that the Prime Minister asked him to take it with him. Wudong Feijuan came to this staircase just to better block Zhang He. How do I hear what you mean now? I want to have an unstoppable flying army. General Ma did not want to fight with his back against the enemy. Is it possible that he wants to take Wudong Feijuan to wander around? Wang Ping frowned. Wait a minute. I thought in my mind. You made it clear that you wanted to fly to the queen without a slut. How should I say no in a tactful and polite way? I'm just going to blame you for camping on the mountain in a street pavilion. Wang Ping would not dare to hand over Wudong Feijuan to you. Wang Ping is a rough guy, not good at showing expressions. By now, you could read it on his face. Wang Ping doesn't want to give you Wudong Feijuan's thoughts. You whispered. I heard that Wudong Feijuan was running around in the mountains and forests. There are other royal clans left. I wonder if General Wang can give me 100 Wudong flying troops. Help me survey the mountains surrounding this courtyard. I heard you said it only takes 100 people, and it just helps you survey the terrain. Wang Ping thought. This is a reasonable request. He had no interaction with Ma Su before. If you don't agree to this request, later you press him in a straight position, or give him small shoes in the future. That would be uncomfortable. Wang Ping cupped his hands and said, General Ma has thought it through. Based on this, 100 gold sharpeners were obtained from Wudong Fei's army for the use of General Ma. Seeing Wang Ping agree, you feel happy. Then, he whispered, Thank you, General Wang. This was the time when I went to survey the terrain. I'll leave the military affairs to you. Wang Ping nodded in agreement. Once again, I have shown you my determination to remain in court. Then, you gave Wang Ping a few more instructions. The more Wang Ping listened, the brighter his eyes became. Finally, he suppressed his excited voice. General Ma is relieved. In the end, these things will be done well. See Wang Ping like this. You'll be relieved. Since you led the army to station in the mountains, there are some low-level generals. I felt a little frustrated. This horse joined the army and clamored every day to fight with his back against the enemy. I really think I am a soldier. It was obviously his first time on the battlefield. Some people saw General Wang Ping and persuaded him several times. As a result, the more I persuade you, the more you insist on stationing yourself on the mountain. What can they do? Wei Di was speechless. Some people are even thinking about it. If he was really defeated by Zhang He, how to safely retreat and join the Prime Minister. Now they see Wang Ping going into battle again. I advise you not to camp in the mountains. I can't help but hope that General Wang can convince you. But there seem to be quarrels coming from the camp. How dare Wang Ping be so rude? Don't think that the Prime Minister likes you. Let you lead the Wudong flying army. I am the Prime Minister's direct disciple. Ma Su, don't use the Prime Minister to pressure me. An armchair idiot. Bang! What was the sound of something being broken? Later, everyone saw Deputy General Wang Ping angry walk out of the tent. It seemed like he was still cursing as he walked. Immediately afterwards, Wang Ping mentioned his Wudong Feijuan. We went directly down the mountain to camp in a dangerous place. To these things, you don't seem to ask, don't ask, don't care. He also ordered the soldiers to be well stationed in the mountains. It is forbidden to disturb you until Zhang He arrives. Several low-level generals took a look. This is clearly the beginning of the battle. The general and his deputy had a disagreement and had a quarrel. What can they do? You are the general. Those who disobey military orders will be beheaded. Some of them were veterans who had been with Emperor Zhao Lai for a long time. I felt even more in my heart. How could the Prime Minister send a man with no combat experience to guard the Jie Pavilion? With little success, he came directly to command the battle. Some people are unconvinced. So historically you want to fight to the death. It's wonderful to imagine. The reality is cruel. Zhang He cut off the water source. You have no military prestige. There was no way to command the panicked soldiers. Failure to take over the pavilion became an inevitable result. The Han soldiers staying on Jieting mountain were panicked. 200 miles away from Jieting, the guards led by Zhang He had a righteous military spirit. Zhang He listened with satisfaction to the information from the Red Queen. Masuna's son camped on Jieting mountain. Yes, General. And after hearing that Ma Sus Lieutenant, Wang Ping was dissatisfied with him. The two have now divided their forces. Wang Ping led his people to camp at the foot of the mountain. Zhang He looked at the topographic map of the street pavilion. After looking at it, I only showed him where Wang Ping was camping. He laughed. Zhuge Liang rode out on the mountain to fight Long Yu. It caught us off guard. But Zhuge Liang arranged a fool to defend the reception pavilion. It seems to you. On this trip, we will make a contribution again. General Wang Fu, who was under Zhang He's camp, echoed. The general said, excellent. The last general heard that Namasu was just a soldier beside Zhuge Liang. There seems to have never been a war. Li Fujiang laughed after hearing Wang Fujiang's words. In this way, isn't this Ma Sus child taken care of? Li Fu will bow his hands to Zhang He. General Zhang, the last general is willing to be a pioneer. Take Ma Sus head. Hearing that Li Fu would ask for orders, General Wang Fu also immediately requested to be the vanguard. Zhang He waved his hands. I already know the thoughts of the two generals, but this Ma Su was stationed on the mountain. Seek your own death. Look, everyone. Zhang He pointed to the area around Jieting mountain on the map. We just need to cut off the water source here for 3 to 5 days. Ma Su is so small that he is self-defeating. All the generals will listen. Said immediately. The general's clever plan. The general is brilliant. Although Ma Su is nothing to worry about now. But Zhang He saw where Wang Ping went down the mountain to camp. You know that Wang Ping is a soldier. What if Wang Ping was asked to arrange the head at the fortress? Yes. The guards are also disadvantageous. Zhang He said immediately. Send orders. The entire army was lightly armed and had their sentences commuted. Urgent punishment day and night. You must arrive at the street pavilion within 3 days. The lieutenants accepted their orders. Zhang He was full of confidence. Leading the guards on a rapid march. Be sure to get the stage boat. Then help the upper regulations. And you, take advantage of the night. You brought an undisturbed flying army from Wang Ping. Leaving the camp stationed on the mountain. Head all the way east. You know that Wang Ping is enough to defend the ship. However, it was just a matter of guarding the stage boat. Can we truly restore the Han dynasty? This is not enough. You're going to play the big one. No limit. Zhao Yun followed Zhuge Liang's order. Pretending to be a soldier here. Trapped Wei Guoda and captured Chao Zhen. Zhao Yun deliberately made a big splash. Pretending to fight. Create a force to suppress the situation. We must take the illusion of Chang'an straight away. Chao Zhen was forced to sleep, and his hands were bloodless. They dare not divide their troops to support the wave ring trapped in Shanggui. Go out and fight Chao Yun. Behind Chao Zhen is Chang'an. And now Emperor Chao Rui is in order to supervise the war and replenish the morale of the military. Already based in Chang'an. If Chao really did this back then, Zhao Yun, who had all the troops on Changbanpo retreating from him, was let go. Really approaching Chang'an. That would be equivalent to handing over the entire Yongliang Erzhou to Shu Han. This is not the most important thing. If only the local uncle who claimed to be the Han dynasty's orthodoxy could save Chang'an, the capital. Thought. These Shu people are really persistent. Lu Xia had quarreled over the throne to them. Then Liu Bei refused to accept his fate. Holding the flag of supporting the Han family, he established himself as emperor in Shu. The Battle of Yiling caused the Shu kingdom to lose a large number of talents. At that time, the Shu kingdom did not have the national strength to attack them and defend the country. I didn't expect this Zhuge villager. Now suddenly the troops are suddenly out of control. Confidant Han returned to the old capital. Play 9 weeks a week. Chao Zhen looked at Zhuge Liang and was talking nonsense. General Chao, I had to come from behind. I ordered to go far outside the city to investigate. I found that Zhao Yun was probably pretending to be a soldier. I'm afraid the troops he led were just bait thrown out by Zhuge Liang. Zhuge Liang was attacking Shanggui at this time. There are few people in Shu. So many troops should be distributed. The siege is endless. The general asked to lead a group of troops to attack Zhao Yun. Chao Zhen glanced at Fei Yao. It's good for young people to have ideas. But you go and attack Zhao Yun. True or false? I saw the suspicion in Chao Zhen's eyes. Fei Yao couldn't help but raise his voice. General. The general will know that Zhao Zilong has a reputation. But he is now over 7 blood years old. Just an old man. The general will not care about him. Fei Yao continued. I just need the general to give me 8,000 cavalry. The general can still lead more than 30,000 troops to guard the eyebrow line. The national power of Shu is weak. There must be no large-scale siege, with 30,000 soldiers and horses stationed at Meixian. Chao Zhen listened to Fei Yao's words. Think a little. Guard the eyebrow line these days. He did feel that there was something strange about Zhao Yun outside the city. Look at the fanfare. It looks like there are a lot of people. However, Zhao Yun did not lead the Shu army to launch large-scale projects. You can only see them constantly preparing the engineering atmosphere. If it weren't for Chao Rui, he would be in charge of Chang'an right now. If it weren't for the generals of the Shu army. Not the Zhao Yun who goes in and out 7 times on Changbanpo. Chao Zhen at this moment. He has also led troops out of the city's combat zone. Fei wants to leave 8,000 cavalry. He does indeed have more than 30,000 troops left. You can keep the copy. This seems like a good idea. Fei wanted to see Chao Zhen, and his facial expression relaxed. Immediately persuaded even more. Can't the general do it? If Zhao Yun outside the city is really just a soldier, there is no danger of letting General Chao get stuck here. This prevented the general from supporting General Guo. When the time comes, Zhuge Liang takes the upper hand. We cannot let Xu win Yongliang in vain. 2 weeks. Okay, General Fei. I order you to bring 8,000 troops and horses out of the city. Let's explore Zhao Yun's reality. After getting Chao Zhen's permission, Fei Yao was very excited. Immediately order the cavalry to leave the city and look for Zhao Yun. Making great achievements is now. What's so scary about 70-year-old Changshan Zhao Zilong? Look, I captured him alive. Brighten the world. Zhao Yun was ordered to hold Chao Zhen at the eyebrow line. Of course I won't think about it. With his reputation as Zhao Zilong, it would scare Chao Zhen so much that he would not dare to fight at all. So Zhao Zilong also made defensive preparations. When you have to lead the troops to attack, Zhao Yun and Deng Zhi led their troops to resist. Fight with Fei Yao. But Chao Zhen also wanted to really defeat Zhao Yun. So among the 8,000 cavalry, 500 tigers rose up. As for the Han army, most are infantry. In addition, all the elite troops were on Zhuge Liang's side to attack Shangui. Moreover, there are only a few Han people. The number of soldiers Zhuge Liang could give Zhao Yun was less than 3,000. And they are all infantry, still dominated by some old people on the battlefield. 3,000 old infantrymen fighting against the 8,000 Chao Wei cavalry including 500 tigers. The odds are slim. It all depends on Zhao Yun's ability and prestige. Wait until you know the command and be on guard. For a while, he was able to fight evenly with Fei Yao. But the fighting started after Fei Yao led his men and horses into Zhao Yun's camp. Discovered Zhao Yun's tricks to pretend to move troops. Extra flags. Empty camp staff. There is no pot made without a fire. As a result, Fei Yao quickly found out the reality of the army led by Zhao Yun. He immediately said to the Qing soldiers beside him, "You go back and report to General Chao quickly. Let's just say that Zhao Yun led the troops to move. There are very few people. Ask General Chao to lead his army into battle. Defeat Zhao Yun." The Qing soldiers received the order. He immediately rode back to the city to report the news. I had to look far away. Another shot killed Zhao Yun, a cavalryman. I couldn't help but put it away in my heart. Contempt for the elderly Zhao Yun. No wonder there was a long board battle that year. 5. The emperor saw something unusual and liked it. Ordered to be captured alive. Zhao Yun is now over 70. He fought immediately, but he was still extremely brave. Another Chao Wei cavalryman was killed with one shot. But Zhao Yun shot another guard to death. He looked up and saw Fei Yao in the middle of the guard. I thought that this person must be the guard general. Just kill him. The guards must be in chaos. Think about it. Zhao Yun slapped his horse and rushed straight towards Fei Yao. He asked for a letter to collect the medicine. When he saw Zhao Yun, he rushed towards him. Fei Yao drew his weapon. Fight with Zhao Yun. But how can his martial arts compare to Zhao Yun? Just 30 rounds. Zhao Yun then knocked Fei Yao off his horse. Then, Zhao Yun stabbed Fei Yao with a spear. The gun room right in front of you. I was so frightened that I spent all my medicine and lost my mind. For a moment, his eyes widened. He walked back. Zhao Yun chases after him. Fei Yao's lieutenant did take command again. Others surrounded Zhao Yun. Don't let Zhao Yun go after Fei Yao. Zhao Yun was helpless. He had no choice but to fight with these people. After Fei Yao narrowly escaped death, I was filled with fear. He still saw Zhao Yun clearly. In the future, we must be more cautious when leading troops in battle. At the same time, Fei Yao was almost stabbed to death because he fell from his horse. There was some commotion in the guards. Deng Zhi seized this opportunity, commanding a few slightly stronger soldiers. Go grab Fei Yao's golden flag. He must look at Zhao Yun, who shoots one guard at a time. We also need to capture Shuai Qi's Shu army. He quickly ordered that Jing Chess must be guarded. At the same time, you must keep your heart in mind. This sent Qing troops to General Chao for support. Nearly half an hour. Why haven't General Chao's reinforcements arrived yet? Originally, I had to see that the Shu army was very small in number. He led 8,000 troops to capture Zhao Yun. Then wait for General Chao to arrive. Then give this credit to General Chao. Well, find yourself a bright future. But the current situation. He underestimated Zhao Yun and the Shu army. General Chao will never come again. He was going to die. Finally, Zhao Yun broke through the siege of others again. When charging towards him with a gun pointed at him, Chao Zhen arrived with his troops. Chao Zhen considered fighting Zhao Yun. He also brought 5,000 more troops and horses. About 15,000 soldiers and horses were left in Mei County to defend the city. So after counting the expenses, there were still about 4,000 troops left. There were nearly 20,000 horses attacking Zhao Yun. Deng Zhi saw Fei Yao's reinforcements arriving. Not fond of fighting either. He immediately asked his soldiers to protect Zhao Yun first and then retreat. General Zhao of Deng, guard, reinforcements have arrived. Let's retreat. This time Zhao Yun only had about 2,000 troops left. Deng Zhi believed that 2,000 men should be used to fight. It looked like there were about 20,000 guardsmen. It is to die. The Han currently only has 1 week of land and a very small population. If you can save a little force, it is a little force. Zhao Yun is getting older after all. After a battle, I felt a little tired. Breathing heavily. But he shook his head at Deng Zhi. No military orders were obtained from the Prime Minister. No retreat. The Prime Minister was currently attacking Shanggui. If it were you, I would have no way to retreat from here. Let Chao Jin go to Wei Shui to support Guo Huai. Isn't it completely broken? Prime Minister's plan. Deng Zhi laughed. Okay, General Zhao, only from a small city, can be the governor of Guanghan. I truly received the holy grace of the late emperor. I don't want to be a sinner of the Han dynasty. And it's so long that you can hold on to it even if you lead troops in the first battle. So far, Zhang He has not been allowed to support the allocation, and he has returned. A cigarette is not as good as him. Zhao Yun laughed after hearing Deng Zhi. The two looked at each other. Everything is left unsaid. It was obvious that he had made up his mind to fight to the death with Chao Jin in Mei County. If Chao Jin wants to pass through Mei County, he must take the Wei waterway. Then he walked over their corpses. Zhao Yun stabbed an attacking guard to death with one shot. Under Deng Zhi's command, the remaining Han troops gradually gathered together. Prepare for the final battle between him and Zhao Yun. Looking into the distance, Chao Zhenren's horse set off billows of smoke and dust. Zhao Yun looked at the Qing soldiers who were still loyally guarding him. This Qing soldier has been following him for a long time, now nearly 40. Before the northern expedition, my grandson was just born. Therefore, this Qing soldier came to ask for a favor. After participating in this northern expedition, just retire and go back to Hani to play with your grandson. Zhao Yun is right. Go now. Daniel Shiyun, I'm sorry for you. Ben is far away, you retire. Go now. Zhao Dania touched the blood on his face. A silly laugh. What did General Zhao say? That year Hoshino. If it hadn't been for the late emperor, he would have taken us to escape. I, Daniel, was killed by Cao Cao a long time ago. If General Zhao hadn't taken a fancy to my strength to get off the ground, I was promoted to general in Qingbing. How can I get married and have children in Chengdu? Mother said it. Whose rice should I miss after eating it? Kindness. This life today, I just want to return it to the late emperor in advance. Zhao Dania's words. Zhao Yun and Deng Zhi were dazzled. What a wonderful Han family. Look at the other soldiers around. Facing the fierce Chao Jin in the next life. There was no look of fear on any of their faces. There was only determination in his eyes. There are few thin Han people. Zhuge Liang gives Zhao Yun a soldier. The last resort is some veterans like soldiers. Being a veteran means that you have followed Emperor Zhao Lai for a long time. Therefore, some of these people followed Emperor Zhao Lai from Shuzhou. Some started to follow Emperor Zhao Lai from Xinya. Some start from Jingzhou. The youngest veteran. They all started following Emperor Zhao Lai when he joined the imperial family. There was a huge scar on my head. What is there to be afraid of, a manly man? It is a pity that His Majesty cannot fight back to Shuzhou. That day in Xinya Jingzhou, when Deng Zhi and Zhao Yun gathered their troops, Fei Yao was also gathering the remaining troops and waiting for Chao Jin to fight. When Chao Jin arrived at Fei Yao's side, Deng Zhi and Zhao Yun have been integrated. Chao Jin killed the veteran. I immediately felt that Zhao Yun was a military force. Everyone exudes the aura of death battle. Chao Jin really doesn't understand what these people are trying to do. The Han dynasty died early. Now the world belongs to their Chao family. But such an opponent on the battlefield deserves respect. Chao Jin waved. Form a formation to meet the enemy. Deng Zhi drew out his sword and took one step ahead, astride the horse. He rushed towards the guards. Zhao Yun patted the horse. He raised his silver spear and stabbed at the enemy in front. A tough battle begins again in front of the eyebrow line. Zhao Yun fights on the right. Deng Zhi commanded Zaining. There is no way to widen the gap between the numbers of 2,000 to 20,000. An hour later, Zhao Yun and Deng Zhi only had about 1,000 people left. Deng Zhi's right arm was injured. Zhao Yun was hit by a sword in his left leg. Zhao Yunking's soldiers and Zhao Daniu were covered in wounds and trampled countless times. There were more than a dozen stab wounds visible to the naked eye. As for Chao Jin, Zhao Yun and Deng Zhi actually replaced 5,000 cavalry with 1,000 men. Chao Jin looked at Zhao Yun and Deng Zhi who were surrounded but still refused to give up resistance. Dismount and persuade. General Zhao. The Shu kingdom is weak and not as big as our Wei kingdom. Sooner or later, we will be swallowed up by our country. General Yang Zilong is famous for acupuncture. As long as General Zilong is willing to be small, I must treat General Zilong with the courtesy of a soldier. Zhao Yun listened to Qiao Zhen's words. He snorted coldly. The late emperor founded the Han dynasty. What Shu country? You are waiting for the thief of the country. But he tried to persuade me to surrender. Zhao Yun's words impressed Qiao Zhen, and his face turned into a tiger. He scolded Zhao Yun in his heart for not knowing what is good and what is good. Don't say anything like my late emperor. Today is just for death. Never surrender. There are only 1,000 men left in the Han army. Deng Ji shouted after him. Only fight to the death and never surrender. Qiao Zhen laughed angrily. Then he'll give you a good time. Qiao Zhen waved. There are about 15,000 guardsmen. Toward the remaining 1,000 people, the Han army surrounded him. Zhao Yun and Deng Ji were not afraid when they saw this. Instead, he laughed and won. Right now, Qiao Zhen's rear army was in commotion. There were also screams. It's Guan Gong. Guan Gong was resurrected. He came for revenge. When such commotion reached Qiao Zhen's ears, he was furious. There is no resurrection of the dead in this world. After speaking, Qiao Zhen said to Fei Yao, Ming Yuan, go and stop the harassment from the rear army. Anyone who refuses to listen will be killed. Fei Yao took his life. He patted his horse and looked towards the rear army. From a distance, I saw a general in green leading about 100 people. Holding a knife, he kept slashing in the crowd behind him. The formation of the rear army was almost thrown into chaos. Fei Yao was getting closer. Only then did I realize that the hundreds of people had strange patterns painted on their faces. He doesn't look like a Han Chinese. They looked a bit like the Nanzhong barbarians Fei Yao had seen before. But he said that the general, dressed in green robes and riding a white horse, a large knife was brandished in his hand. He finished killing a guard. The moment I raised my head, Fei Yao looked at it and his heart trembled. His face was so red that he had a long beard. And the general roared loudly, where is Su Huan? You and I will fight again in this mortal city. If Fei Yao hadn't firmly believed there is no resurrection of the dead in this world. At this time, I was afraid that the general would abandon his army and flee. The Shadow of a Person's famous book. After Guan Yu played hookah and abandoned his army, already dangerously sliding down. See the Prime Minister in the north. The soul came back to help some timid guards. It has been regarded as Guan Ye's resurrection. Start running away. While running away, he was still shouting, General Guan, don't kill me. As everyone knows, during the war, there was a man in the army who was in disorder. 10 people will start causing chaos. These 10 people will cause chaos in the entire army. Gradually, the rear army became panicked. It has begun to affect the Chinese military. Then there is the former army. You must be so angry. Rush directly to the rear army. Kill a deserter first. Then he yelled at everyone. Anyone who dares to escape again will be executed immediately. This method only works for a while. Fei Yao looked at the general who rushed into the rear formation. We still have to kill this pretender. Only in this way can the morale of the military be stabilized. Fei Yao shouted loudly. Why don't villains dare to pretend to be gods and ghosts? It was me who took the medicine and shot it. Fei Yao stabbed him with one shot, but he was avoided by the general. Then, the leader was seen wielding his sword. Hit the horse that Fei Yao was riding. Fei Yao fell to the ground and was shot. What kind of play is this? Killing horses does not kill people. Seeing Fei Yao fall to the ground, you were not polite and swiped the long knife again. He threw all the sand on the ground towards Fei Yao's face. For a moment, the sand fascinated Fei Yao's eyes. Fei Yao was angry. How can anyone actually fight and assassinate with subterfuge? Fei Yao touched his eyes, while cursing the shameless villain. Dare to use your martial arts and suffer my flying madness head on. As soon as you hear this person's name revealed, eyes light up. You don't care about Fei Yao yelling and cursing. Directly giving orders to the 2 Wudang Feijuan next to him. Tie him up. Let's go find Qiao Zhen. Good. The hundreds of people who stole Qiao Zhen and eviscerated his bones. It's you Ma Su. You know when you are ordered to guard the Jieting pavilion. Zhao Yunzheng led the people to deliberately show no thanks. Attract Qiao Zhen's attention. However, it turns out that historically, after you missed the pavilion, Zhao Yun was repulsed by Qiao Zhen. As a result, Shu Han lost the best opportunity to occupy Chang'an. You think clearly. It is enough to guard Jieting Wangping. Ji Han, the territory is really too small. The smaller the territory, the smaller the population. There will be no troops to conquer Chao Wei. Zhuge Liang held the first northern expedition. The pickup booth is not enough. You just have to play the big one. Expand the results of Wu He's first northern expedition. So you thought about it. At this time, Qiao Zhen was guarding Meixian County. You have to come over and repel Qiao Zhen. Afraid of something happening to Jieting, I only dare to follow Wang Ping. I want 100 Wudang Feijuan to come over. Wudang Feijuan is dominated by barbarians. Climbing mountains and ridges is a piece of cake. Lead Wudang Feijuan from the mountain road to the mountain road. It can avoid Zhanghe. Can you feel safe again? Since ancient times, in wars, the top priority is to attack the heart and the bottom is to attack the city. How to use these 100 people to create the greatest fighting point? You can only only choose to attack your heart. So think about it on the way here. He wants to pretend to be Guan Yu. Retreat those Chao Wei soldiers. Even if you don't retreat, it can make Chao Zhen's army confused. He will still be 70 years old by then. Zhao Zilong is here to cancel his household registration. Can't you still hold Chao Zhen? As long as Chao Zhen can be captured. Chao Wei soldiers wanted to besiege them. You yelled, "Who dares to move?" I killed Fei Mingyuan immediately. At this time, Chao Zhen's rear army did not dare to move. I only dare to surround you. Let you grab Fei Yao and go to Chao Zhen. And there is no control over drug consumption. Convinced about the resurrection of the little soldiers, start running away secretly. One ran away and drove. Also, run alone. Then Chao Zhen sighed, still thinking about how to capture Zhao Yun alive. Gotta catch him. Go and kowtow before Emperor Wu. But he felt the commotion behind him. It seems to be getting bigger and bigger. The commotion on Chao Zhen's side. Deng Zhi also noticed it. Old general, look at Chao Zhen's rear army. Zhao Yun looked over. He naturally saw that not only Chao Zhen, but also the rear army was in chaos. It seemed that the Chinese army was beginning to become confused. Zhao Yundao, I don't know what happened. You and I take this opportunity. Chao Zhen was captured. There is a glimmer of hope. Deng Zhi responded. Good. I opened the way for the old general. So in Zhao Yun, under the leadership of Deng Zhi, now there are only about 600 Han troops left. They actually launched a counterattack against the guards. Chao Zhen was angry. Not only do you not surrender, still want to counterattack. Chao Zhen patted his horse and went straight to Zhao Yun. Even if you Zhao Yun again, you are also 70 years old. And now he is exhausted from 9 battles and is speechless. I, Chao Zhen, am determined to capture you. Chao Zhen stepped forward to fight with Zhao Yun. 100 rounds of fighting. Chao Zhen actually felt that he was a little exhausted. But looking across from him, Zhao Yun seemed to be a demon with a strong crossbow. Chao Zhen gritted his teeth and attacked Zhao Yun again. The mount beneath him suddenly screamed. The horse's head was raised high. The front hooves danced wildly and shook. Then, Chao Zhen fell off his horse heavily. Chao Zhen took a look. Someone actually shot the sword into the buttocks of his mount. The horse was frightened and he was thrown off the horse. How could anyone shoot an arrow like this? Sneak attack. No shame. This is exactly what you ordered the Wudang Feijuan around you to suffer. One note. Thousands of years of chrysanthemum sand. Even horses feel pain. When you saw Chao Zhen fell, you immediately shouted, General Zilong, capture Chao Ziden quickly. Deng Zhi and Zhao Yun had made an agreement to capture Chao Zhen during the chaos. I heard what you said. Deng Zhi rushed over from the side. Together with Zhao Yun. Kill and rush over. Only Chao Zhen's 2 Qing soldiers. He grabbed Chao Zhen and rushed towards the troops behind him. Seeing Zhao Yun and Deng Zhi, they captured Chao Zhen. You immediately shouted loudly. Chao Ziden has been defeated. You surrender and don't kill me. The useless flying army you brought. He immediately shouted the news loudly. The former army of the guards looked at Zhao Yun with their own eyes. Wait until she captures Chao Zhen. In addition, Ho Jun clamored for Guan Yunchang's resurrection. By this time it had spread to the former army. The rear army fled in all directions. The Chinese army was led and began to run. The former army was still fighting with the Han army at this time. At first sight, some people still have fights. Put the big knife in your hand on the ground. He shouted at the top of his lungs. You still don't want me to know Guan Yunchang. Chao Zhen must not believe the news of the resurrection of the dead. I mean, these soldiers don't believe it. Besides, the generals were all captured. They only have a few lines a month. Someone in the east knelt down first. It will inspire other people. Quickly eliminate the escaped guards. 5,000 guardsmen remain. Put down your weapons and surrender on the spot. You see, the battle has been decided. I took a deep breath in my heart. He immediately came to Zhao Yun and Deng Zhi and was rude. It's never been too late. It would be a mistake to let the 2 generals suffer. The ancient spoke and wrote Zhou. You're not very used to it. These few sentences are based on those classic costume drama lines in your mind. And then said it. I heard you say your name. Only then did Zhao Yun and Deng Zhi understand. It was Ma Su who came to save them. Zhao Yun looked up and down. You look like this. He really looks like General Guan. When Zhao Yun is looking at your appearance as Guan Yu, you are also secretly looking at Zhao Yun. Zhao Yun is now 70 years old. His beard and hair are half white, but his eyebrows are like knives. The wrinkles at the corners of his eyes are covered with frost, but not half muddy. He still has the killing aura of a general in a killing field. Although the body shape is not as tight as in the prime of life, but it's still as easy as making the moon. Revealing the spiritual power of Changshan Zhao Zilong in the western year. You are a little excited. Saw Zhao Zilong alive. Deng Zhi has tied up Chao Zhen. Came over. Thanks to Young Chang's costume. Only then did Zhi and the old general escape from danger. Thank you, Mr. Young. Help the envoy. The leader of the undefeated gang. This is Deng Zhi, who doesn't change color even when hunting and cooking. Praised by Deng Zhi. You are even more excited. Qin Ku said. Just catching the ring. He was embarrassed in front of General Zhao and General Deng. A cold snort came from the side. Chao Zhen injured his bones when he fell off his horse. At this time, He was kidnapped by the Han army. I heard you pretending to be Guan Yu again. It actually caused the morale of his troops to be in chaos. There was disdain on his face. A mean person. Use others to make a name for yourself on the battlefield. What is a real man? Fei Yao was also tied up at this time. With Chao Zhen. The sand in his eyes has not yet been cleared. Can't keep my eyes open. But you didn't let Wudong Feijuan block his mouth. So Fei Yao also cursed angrily. Shameless villain. Fasting some tricks. Let you go too. Fight with me for 300 rounds. See if I don't kill you. Hearing that Chao Zhen wasted his time and humiliated you. Zhao Ye's face darkened. Deng Ji said bluntly. The general who worships the king is also chatting here. You picked up the conversation. After all they can do now is chatter. Chao Zhen was embarrassed but couldn't refute it. After all, he and Fei Yao are now. He was really tied up. Captured. Zhao Yun spoke. Take the two generals down and take good care of them. Soon, Chao Zhen and Fei Yao were taken away. No line. One fight. Zhao Yun and Deng Ji not only succeeded in holding back Chao Zhen. Now Chao Zhen is captured. Both of them were very excited. But after calming down, I thought about going to court. Deng Ji asked. It's been a long time since you came and there's no line. What about the court hearing? You touched your fake beard and smiled. General Bo Miao, don't worry. I have handed over the court hearing to Zijuan. When Zhao Yun heard this, he handed the matter over to the emperor. Somewhat anxious and long. Zijuan. Him. During the Battle of Hanzhong. Just miss me as a big man. Now I only recognize the Yamen general. Zhao Yun stopped talking mid-sentence. He was very anxious. Could Zhuge Liang succeed in the northern expedition? I am very anxious. Can I complete the emperor's hospital? But these words seemed like he was criticizing the emperor behind his back. Speak ill of others. So Zhao Yun couldn't continue talking in the middle of his sentence. You also understand what Zhao Yun is thinking. At the end of the Han dynasty, the average person was 50 years old. Zhao Yun is now 70 years old. Naturally, I very much hope to do so in my lifetime. See the hope of restoring the Han family. Historically, Zhuge Liang's first northern expedition. Because you are Jieting, after the failure of occupying Yongliang. Not long after, Zhao Yun died of illness. Except for the physical injuries from years of fighting. Most likely there is no hope of restoring the Han family. The reason for the dissatisfaction. It is Zhuge Liang who is holding the pavilion in your hand, and indeed no one has any use for it. Zhuge Liang even wrote a guide for you. You don't copy it. Now you also take over the task of defense. He handed it over directly to a small government office. Moreover, Zhao Yun had heard of Wang Ping, but he seemed to be illiterate. So not only Zhao Yun is worried. Deng Ji was also worried. Talk to calm their mood. The two generals are relieved. Zijuan acted cautiously. Already respecting the Prime Minister's military orders, he went down to the stronghold. Moreover, the Prime Minister also asked Wu Dongfei to lead him. He was there to guard the court. Zhang Heguo will definitely not be allowed to go to court. Zhao Yun and Deng Ji listened to your words. I felt slightly relieved. They thought that Wang Ping was born as a human being. He led Wu Dangfeijun and abide by Zhuge Liang's arrangements. The court hearing was uneventful. Look, Zhao Yun and Deng Ji said after their expressions calmed down. General Zhao and General Deng. Today, Chao Zhen is raised by our army. There was no general guarding Meixian County at this time. What if we capture Meixian? Zhao Yun and Deng Ji were a little surprised. This Ma Su usually stays with the Prime Minister as a soldier. Now is the first time to lead troops. It's really just a matter of not leading troops. It's amazing in this area. Chao Zhen was captured. Now I am still thinking about attacking Meixian. Deng Ji looked at it. Now, the remaining veterans are bandaging each other's wounds. And Long, General Zhao and I were ordered to serve as soldiers again. Therefore, what he brought was not gold food. Although Chao Zhen is captured now, but the Mei line should still be heavily guarded. Our army has just experienced a bitter battle. I'm afraid I don't have enough energy to win the plumb line. You said upon hearing this, General Bo Miao, this is the time you need. Only then can we win the plumb line. Zhao Yun saw the proud expression on your face and asked quickly. It seems that if you have a good idea, please tell me quickly. You approached Deng Ji and Zhao Yun whispered. General Zhao and General Deng. We just need. You will speak out your own plans. Obtain 2 approvals. Zhao Yun couldn't help but laugh. Good. If you wait a long time, you will definitely be able to get the eyebrow line. Deng Ji continued. It's already early in the season, not too late. In fact, things have changed. You nodded affirmatively. Zhao Yun and Deng Ji immediately. Start arranging according to your plan. Eyebrow line. Chao Zhen insisted on leading his troops to fight. 2 hours have passed for Zhao Yun. It's sunset now. Chao Zhen didn't send any news back. Chao Zhen's Deputy General Dai Ling was a little anxious. General, prevent other accidents. He was ordered to stay at the eyebrow line. There is no news about the general now. That's not a thing. Dai Ling stood on the city wall, looking in the direction of Zhao Yun. I just felt smoke and dust billowing and couldn't see anything. At this time, a guard cavalry galloped over from a distance. Arrived at the bottom of the city tower, Dai Ling found that all these cavalrymen were covered in wounds. That also uses a wooden stand. There is a person standing on the stage. The face of the person on the stand could not be seen clearly. All he could see was blood on his body. On the contrary, the taijia on his body is solid. It seems a bit like General Chao Zhen. Dai Ling shouted loudly on the city wall. Who is coming? Then I heard a guard below shout. Will the general open the door? Open the door quickly and save General Chao. He was ambushed by Zhao Yun and was seriously injured. The general won't open the door again. General Chao is majestic. When I heard that the person on the stretcher was Chao Zhen, Dai Ling immediately became anxious. If Chao Zhen died at the eyebrow line, he will definitely be held accountable by Chao Rui. But what if this was a ploy? He lost his eyebrow line. No, Chao Rui has to hold him accountable. Dai Ling was worried. Ask the guard below the tower to show his ID. The leading guard handed the token to the gatekeeper. Wait until it is in Dai Ling's hands. He took it over and took a look. It is the token of Hu Baoqi. It seems that they are indeed General Chao Zhen's subordinates. At this time, Dai Ling heard the guards under the tower shouting loudly again. General Chao, what's wrong with you? We've reached the brow line. General Chao. This cry made Dai Ling's head buzz. If it is Chao Zhen, because he is checking at the city gate. He was stuck outside the city and did not receive timely treatment. He will definitely be destroyed by Chao Rui for a long time. Let General Chao enter the city quickly. Finish. Dai Ling kicked the soldier next to him again and yelled. What are you doing standing there in a daze? He didn't even ask a medical officer to treat General Chao. The little soldier is here. Big. He immediately rolled on the ground and went to call the medical officer. Then the gates of coal line opened wide. Lock Chao Zhen in this guard and welcome him into the coal line. The leading guard. His face still looked worried about Chao Zhen. In fact, my heart is already happy. Because he is Namasu. Taking advantage of the injured Chao Zhen, he blew open the city gate of Meixiang. You think to yourself, okay, historically. This time Chao Zhen was the deputy general guarding the coal line belt. He is not a well-known general. In addition, Chao Rui is in charge of Chang'an. Directly bring all the top counselors to Chang'an. Otherwise, your plan to defraud the city gate will definitely fail. Now that you have entered the coal line, you must seize the opportunity. You and the guards carried Chao Zhen to the carriage in the county government hall. He asked Dai Ling who followed him. Is the doctor here? General Chao is in extremely critical condition. Dai Ling was so anxious that he was sweating and hurriedly knocked him down. Coming soon, coming soon. Chao Zhen, who stepped forward at this time, coughed twice. You immediately rushed over, shouting, General. Then you put your ear close to Chao's mouth again. Make a show of listening to him. What? General. You took advantage of Dai Ling not paying attention. He pinched his thigh flesh hard. There were tears in his eyes immediately. Arriving in front of Dai Ling. General. Go quickly and invite other generals to come and discuss matters. General Chao has something to explain. Dai Ling was panicked this time. What's going on? Then Zhao Yun is not already over 70 years old. He could also hurt General Chao like this. Does Chao Zhen really want it? This idea passed through Dai Ling's mind. Just call him Liu Shenwuzhu. Did you see Dai Ling didn't react? Immediately urged in a low voice. General, go quickly. Good. I will go to the other lieutenants in the city. Chao Zhen guards the eyebrow line. The highest ranking lieutenant is Fei Yao. Now he is being watched by Deng Zhizhi from the Han military camp outside the city. Then came Dai Lin Wei Ping. Wei Ping was taken out to fight by General Chao. It is not destroyed at this time, so there is no risk now. The highest ranking general is Dai Lin. Soon, Dai Lin took the other 5 or 6 lieutenants. He was shouted into the lobby. Just in time, the clothes officer whom the soldiers went to invite arrived. Dai Lin dragged the clothes officer into the lobby. He still yelled and cursed at the clothes officer. Today, General Chao is seriously ill. Are you slow, old man? Could it be that he wanted to harm General Chao? The arrested officer was about 50 years old. He was caught by Dai Ling and was not angry. On the contrary, life and death have their own destiny. General Ruotsao is really seriously ill. Is this a problem that I can solve in one quick step? Old man. Dai Ling was furious. He didn't expect that a small man in clothes would dare to throw away his face like this. The deputy general next to him persuaded Dai Ling. General Chao's condition must be taken seriously. This saved Dai Ling from having to fight against Yi Guanqing in anger. When the important general arrived, Chao Zhen stepped forward. I want to listen to Chao Zhen's instructions. This approach called Dai Ling and discovered something was wrong. Why are General Chao's hands so old? And the soldier who reported the news just now. Why don't you step in front of General Chao? Dai Ling was bold. Go to the hair that covers Chao Zhen's face first. Not opened yet. But I heard a boy. It seems your death is imminent. Not too stupid. Finally found something wrong. It's a pity it's too late. Dai Ling looked back. The one who spoke was the soldier who reported the news just now. At this time, he was looking at them with a sneer on his lips. Take another look. The door of Datong's room was closed by the guards brought by this man. At this time, Why don't Dai Ling and others understand? They fell into a trap. Dai Ling and others drew their swords and pointed them at you. Who are you? Dare to pretend to be an axe? Surrender quickly. I can spare your life. This person just complimented him. It wasn't too stupid. Started talking stupid things again. At this time, Chao Zhen, who was lying on him, answered for you. Words about who they are. I am Changshan Zhaozi Longyan. Dai Ling turned back in surprise. But I only saw a flash of cold light. Later, in Dai Ling's last perspective, he looked at Zhao Yun sideways. The remaining 5 lieutenants. I heard that Zhao Yun's registration number had already been placed. Then he saw Dai Ling being beheaded by Zhao Yun with a short knife hidden in a fish's armor. All brought in for witnessing. Everyone came to their senses. They put down their weapons one after another. Immediately kneel on the ground and ask for surrender. You see that you have the situation under control. Great peace of mind. Waved to the Han troops dressed as guards. The 5 generals were immediately tied up. At this time, a subordinate came forward. Whisper next to you. General, what do you think the medical officer will do? You look at the medical officer who was led there. He originally wanted to let the old medical officer go. But this old man just experienced such a scene. His expression remained unchanged. Still sitting on the chair very calmly. Pour yourself some water. When you see this old man, look at him. Instead he asked, dare you ask this general? But there are still patients who need medical treatment. The old medical clinic is still filled with warm medicine. I have to go back and watch. Look at the old man's method. You gestured with strength. The old gentleman was frightened. May I ask the old gentleman's name? The old man sees you giving him polite luggage. Don't panic either. Get up and return the favor. Then he touched his beard and said, Old Decay Painting 7. You smiled inwardly. Then I can't let you go. Maybe a 3-star guy. You have to find 7 points from this old man. I just took over the inside line. There was inevitably some turmoil. Why don't you ask the old gentleman to stay here temporarily? How about taking General Zhao's pulse? Hear your words. Hua Qi's expression didn't change much. Sweat your hands a little. It means I promise you. Then Hua Qi carried the medicine box. He sat next to Zhao Yun. Start selling to Zhao Yun. Zhao Yun refused. And long. I haven't completely mastered my brow line yet. I don't have the time to see a doctor. Besides, I only suffered some minor injuries before you arrived. General Zhao, just stay with these. The rest, it's enough for plain artists to worry about it. Today, only Zhao Yun is left among the 5 tiger generals of Jihan. He must not let Zhao Yun. Just like the original history, after Zhuge Liang was punished for the first time, he died of illness. Chao Zhen must be caught. Dai Ling was killed, and the rest. Lieutenant General with some official positions already chosen to surrender. What's left of the Plum Blossom line now? They are all Xiaolin. That's the general. What can they do? We can only surrender. So you take over the Plum line in full. No accidents were encountered. After controlling the situation on the Plum line, you didn't change the flag. After some interrogation, behind those lieutenants who stayed on the Plum line, only then did I know Chao Zhen. There is also a Deputy General Wei Ping. Not back yet. I don't know if he was pretending to be him. Guan Yu was scared away. Or did you go directly to Chang'an to ask for help? In other words, go to Guizhou to recruit deserters. It is also possible to return to the Brow line. If Wei Ping returns to the Brow line, then you have to capture him alive. Let's see if there's any chance of persuasion. The name Wei Ping was originally mentioned. You thought about it in your head. Is this person a famous general? It seems not. But those lieutenants were chopped off by Zhao Yun. The leader was stunned. When you asked, I asked, who is Wei Ping? The group of lieutenants were all talking. He named all the women Wei Ping liked more. The news that caught your attention is this. Wei Ping has some friendship with Hao Zhao. It is good to recruit Chao Wei's famous city defenders. It was during Zhuge Liang's second northern expedition. Guard Chen Song. Zhuge Liang's hopes of the northern expedition were once again shattered. Then you remember. When I was looking up historical information on the 3 kingdoms, during the Battle of Qinsong, the deputy general who assisted Hao Zhao in defense was Wei Ping. If you can follow the good moves, you can defend Qinsong. I have never seen pig robes, and I have never eaten pork. If Wei Ping is willing to surrender, throw him over and keep him company with Brother Hua. Isn't there one more General Ji Han Shouchen? Brother Hua seems to be quite young now. The world's heroes, you and me. Chibi has 1 spirit and 2 fires. After the Yiling War, there are really too few people available to Ji Han. That's why you didn't kill the flying medicine before. One is to think about it and see if it can be persuaded. They were all left in his memory. Let the Guangfu sweat room shine in heat. The second is that you haven't really killed anyone in a long time. Once you go to the battlefield, you won't naturally stay. The other side will trust you. You're thinking about it. If Wei Ping comes back, how to deal with it? If it's Wei Ping, go directly to Chang'an to report the news. How to deal with it. When you are thinking about Wei Ping is thinking about you too. But that's what Wei Ping was thinking about. It is absolutely impossible for Guan Yunchang to be resurrected. I don't know which general of Shu come up with such a plan. Afterwards, Wei Ping gathered the remaining soldiers. When deserting, think carefully. He found that in memory. This is a general who looks like Guan Yunchang. It seemed that they only brought about 100 people. Make use of the theory of gods and ghosts. Hundreds of people rushed and shocked, disrupting the morale of the entire army. Be brave and resourceful. We need to get this person's information. After rescuing General Chao Zhen, report the information to General Chao. General Chao must be reminded to pay attention to this person. General Wei, not seen. The soldier beside him reminded Wei Ping. Wei Ping looked at it and saw that the flag was not in danger. I don't know who is guarding the city. Wei Ping heard someone asking from above. Who is under the city? Wei Ping raised his head and called back his name. But he found the soldier who asked the question. It seems like something I haven't seen before. And this spoken language. Why does it sound a little strange? On the city wall, you saw Wei Ping coming back. A lieutenant general who had ordered surrender before. Lure Wei Ping into the city bank. This lieutenant is trying to please you. Show up on the tower. Still shouting happily. It turned out that General Wei was back. Come to town quickly. The deputy general thought of himself like this. It won't make Wei Ping suspicious, right? But this is exactly how happy he looks. Wei Ping's suspicion aroused. Wei Ping thought to himself. It stands to reason. Now, the highest commander in Mei County. It should be leadership. Why don't you see the leader? The sword of the deputy general guarding the city, among the returning generals. There is no General Chao Zhen. Still so happy. Besides, anyone can see it. Wei Ping is gathered now. Just a group of defeated soldiers. In this way, the eyebrow line must have other conditions. Can't believe it. You only see Wei Ping. It seemed like a perfunctory sentence. Then Wei Ping turned around. At least he ran away. The defeated soldiers he brought back became fierce. What's going on? This is all at the door of the eyebrow line. Why did General Wei still run away? Shoot the arrow. You immediately let go of those around you. There is no way to be a flying army. Shoot at Wei Ping's back. Now I watched Wei Ping running towards Chang'an. You are not thinking about saving his life to persuade him to surrender. He was trying to stop Wei Ping from reporting to Chao Rui. An arrow shot out. It seems that Wei Ping's arrest was shot. Wei Ping groaned on his horse. But he hugged the horse's head tightly. He even slapped the horses but hard. He ran hard towards Chang'an. Don't you know whether this arrow killed Wei Ping? We can't order the pursuit of Wei Ping now. Remove Chao Wei from the plumb line and surrender his troops. True self-liberation. The Han army numbered no more than 200 people. Deng Zhi also led 500 Han troops outside the city. Guarding Chao Zhen took medicine. He also managed the demobilization of 5,000 guards. If you chase Wei Ping out, an accident, the plumb line will fall into Chao Wei's hands again. When the plumb line was just stabilized, you have already sent an unworthy flying army to quickly guard the waterway. Went to report the news to Zhuge Liang. Now you just hope. Zhuge Liang sent people to take over Mei Xian. It can be compared to the reinforcements from Chao Wei brought by Wei Ping's message. Comes faster. The plumb line thing occupies a paragraph. Set the time slightly back to the boat pickup a day ago. Zhang He went through 3 days of rapid march. Finally arrived to pick up the boat. Just like the news he had received before. Zhuge Liang sent you and Wang Ping to guard the pavilion. The two did not see eye to eye. Zhang He can see your troops encamped on the mountain. Wang Ping, on the other hand, chose to kill him. It's still a little far away from your mountain. Zhang He sought death. It seems that it is exactly what the reprimand said. The Shu army broke into civil strife before fighting. But be careful. After setting up camp around Jieting mountain, Zhang He gave the order. Lieutenant General Li and Lieutenant General Wang, you two lead 5,000 soldiers and horses. Go and attack Wang Ping. Let's explore the reality of this Shu army. After a fight, Wang Ping lost 300 men. King Bi lost 1,000 people. Zhang He listened to Li and Wang's report on the battle. Say so. Then Zhuge Liang handed over Wu Dangfei's army to Wang Ping to lead. Zhuge Liang used Nanzhong barbarians to train an army of Wu Dangfei. At this time, Chao Wei reported to the Shao family. Therefore, General Chao Wei knew that such an army existed. But what about Wu Dangfeijuan? Chao Weizhong didn't know. After all, it is composed of barbarians. In this period when one Han ruled the 5 lakes, it is difficult for a barbarian army to attract the attention of Chao Wei, who has 9 states. Now Zhang He calculated the battle damage ratio in his mind. It seems that this time he will hold on to the court. The general needs to be reminded that he should not be an army. Although this is a small battle, Lieutenant General Li and Lieutenant General Wang were defeated. But they also forced Wang Ping to withdraw his camp. Strength. And was Zhang He's order to find out the truth? Vice General Li smiled. General Zhang, I don't think Zhuge Liang is anything special. I heard that he was just a villager. Fortunately, Liu Bei took a fancy to him. What has always been in charge is logistics. He never led troops at all. How can such a person understand military affairs? Vice General Wang also echoed. Yes, General Zhang. Ma Su, who was guarding the court, was a disciple of Zhuge Liang. Zhuge Liang left other generals alone. Take over the court with his apprentice's hand. He made it clear that he wanted to support that idiot captain. But he knew that this idiot couldn't do it. That's why Wu Dangfeijun was led by Deputy General Wang Ping. Do so. Then you can be at peace with Wang Ping. Zhang He touched his beard and nodded. Good. I just ordered you two to fight Wang Ping. There is not much movement on Jieting Mountain. It seems that you don't care about Wang Ping. What a fool. In the current war, we should have a childish mentality. Vice General Li said quickly. General Zhang. As long as we can make good use of the contradiction between these two people. After taking down Jie Pavilion, Eru turned his hand back. Lieutenant General Li, what you said makes sense. Zhang He walked to the terrain map hanging in the military tent. Ordered a place. Lieutenant General Li. Lieutenant General Wang, I order you two to lead 10,000 troops. Be sure to watch the water here. Don't let the Shu army on this mountain take a drop of water. 2. Go and look at where Zhang He is pointing. That is the source of Jieting Mountain water that Zhang He mentioned before. The general is brilliant. As long as Vice General Wang and I cut off the water source of the Shu army. The general was trapped at the foot of Jieting Mountain and guarded it. This battle can be won without a fight. Zhang He looked at the king. The expressions on the faces of the two Lis were written all over. Warn. Although you are too small to bear big worries, the two generals still have to be careful. Wang Li was strong and saluted immediately. Mouth full of hardness. General, don't worry. The two of us will definitely complete our mission. And Zhang and himself. Then he took the remaining 30,000 guards with him. So he camped at the foot of Jieting Mountain, waiting for the Shu army to get no water. The morale of the military is in confusion. On the first day, the Shu army on the mountain discovered that Zhang He had cut off his water source. A small force was dispatched. About 50 or 60 people competed for water. He was beaten back to the mountain by Wang and Li. On the first day of the second day, Shi Hobao. The Shu army on the mountain was noisy. There were also some fights between soldiers, but it was suppressed. Watch the third day. 1,000 Shu troops rushed down the mountain. It seems to want to attract and find a breakthrough. Zhang He directly asked the archers to surround him and go down the mountain to defeat him. Archery forced the Shu army back to Jieting Mountain. And this is the Shu army trying to go down the mountain. Some people don't drink water for a long time. Lack of physical strength. The guards' bows and arrows were not drawn. He immediately fell down. The whole person rolled to the feet of the guards. Passed out. So Zhang He captured about 5 or 6 more prisoners of the Shu army. After interrogation, learned from these Shu army prisoners. Ma Su and Wang Ping had long been in trouble because of where they borrowed money. Wang Ping was angry and divided his troops for defense. As for Ma Su, he talks about Marquis Huaying's last stand in the military camp every day. Boost morale. I know Ma Su, but I am still talking about it now. After a desperate battle, the entire Zhang He's military camp was filled with joy and anger. The disciples brought out by Zhuge villager can only be nerds. It seems that in the first few days, you can wait until Ma Su takes the initiative to lead his troops to surrender. As for Wang Ping, Zhang He felt inadequate and worried. Fighting with Ma Su these days, Wang Ping has never supported a group of soldiers, no matter how contradictory they are. Ma Su, the general, caught him. Avoid mistakes in the morale of the Shu army. Morale is gone. This team is not easy to treat. Therefore, Zhang He still chose to besiege Jieting Mountain. Zhang He predicted that it would be the 5th day. Ma Su, this Shu army should not be able to hold on any longer. But on the 5th day, it was just the Shu army on Jieting Mountain that rushed forward. This time the Shu army was stunned. There were more people. About 100 prisoners were captured at one time. Zhang He learned from the second batch of prisoners. Ma Su used his identity as a disciple of Zhuge Liang. Cursed the other lieutenants. They also threatened their wives, children. Don't let them surrender. Zhang He thought that he would stay for another 2 days. It's time for complete chaos. Waited another 2 days. The Shu army has not surrendered yet. Such signs. Zhang He did the math. It started when he cut off the water supply. 7 days have passed now. The Shu army could persist for 7 days without water. There must be something weird about this. From Zhuge Liang, go to Qishan. After gathering the 3 horses on the right and watching the wind, they descended. Guo Huai made an accurate judgment and must defend accordingly. Then rushed to Shangue. Set up defense. Confronted with Zhuge Liang and Shangue who came later. Guo Huai wrote to Chao Rui. Bite up to both ends. Enough to last for half a year. Please Chao Rui quickly send generals to relieve the siege. Zhang He received Chao Rui's transfer order with 40,000 troops and horses. From Longshan Road Street Pavilion. Support Guo Huai. General Guo Huai's battle report. Zhuge Liang's offensive. It is said that a knight is like the wind. Unstoppable. Shanghui's situation is critical. Zhang He was not like his 2 lieutenants. I feel that Zhuge Liang is just a villager. I don't know how to fight. What a villager who doesn't know how to fight. A copy that can assist the intellectuals in learning from Fan Lu. A small piece of land from the heart. Go to the Han dynasty that occupies the land of 2 states. Although Jingzhou was quickly lost. Moreover, The emperor of Han County was bleeding and yet he was still alive. But even Zhang He, a military general, nor will he underestimate Zhuge Liang's wisdom. So after learning about Ma Su and Wang Ping's situation, Zhang He wanted to cut off the water source. Victory without a fight. Then save the centaurs. Good to support Shangui. In Zhang He's calculations, the battle to protect the rules. It's a fierce battle. But Zhang He did not expect that the Shu army can be used without water source. Hold on for 7 days. Could it be that he fell into a trap? Wouldn't that delay his record of supporting Shangui? Inspire the troops. Immediately go up the mountain to attack Ma Su. Zhang He didn't know if he had fallen into the trap, but he knew that as long as he defeated Ma Su's plan naturally didn't work. Zhang He led his troops to attack the rear of Jieting mountain. It was found that almost all of Ma Su's tents were empty. There is no Shu army, and the Shu army who stayed on the mountain. But there were about 300 to 400 people. Those 300 to 400 Shu troops see Zhang He attack up the mountain. He didn't even take up arms to fight. On the contrary, his figure is extremely strong. From the extremely steep flaming arm on the back side of Jieting mountain, climb down in a few clicks. No trace. There is no way to be a flying army. General Zhang. They are useless troops. Lieutenant General Wang. Vice General Li fought against Wang Ping. Recognized immediately. This is the Shu army staying on the mountain. It's nothing but an army. At this moment, Zhang He completely understood. I am really in love. There was a fire at the bottom of the mountain. It's our camp stick. The camp staff caught fire. Soldiers were heard screaming and camp staffs were set on fire. Zhang Habla dismissed the soldiers surrounding the top of the mountain. Looked down the mountain. Sure enough, Zhang and the army camp staff. It was already a sea of fire. Now Zhang He led his army to attack Ma Su on the mountain. Wang Ting is still camping 10 miles away. There was no movement. So who set the fire? Lieutenant General Li slapped him hard and shook him. Shouted. Oops. They were those prisoners of the Shu army. They must have burned down our tent. Vice General Wang added. They also burned our food and grass. Zhang He's face turned gloomy after hearing the two's words. This is Ma Su. Wang Ping really did a good job. He originally wanted to besiege Ma Su. Now he was the one under siege. A glance at the hand. Go down the mountain and recapture our camp. Zhang He gave the order decisively. Ma Su must not be allowed to do so. Wang Ping seized the opportunity and besieged them on Jieting mountain. The water supply will then be cut off. It was Zhang He who should surrender. Zhang He was quite prestigious in the army. He gave the order. The guards naturally complied. So, the way troops just climbed Jieting mountain. The three of them took a breath. Then he rushed down Jieting mountain, trying to take back his own tent, and wait for Zhang He to lead his army to the foot of the mountain. When sending troops to rescue their own camps, Wang Ping and Gao Xiang led their troops and rushed to the nearby area. The men and horses on both sides were killed immediately. The fight started. During Zhuge Liang's first northern expedition, Ma Su was given a troop of about 12,000 soldiers. He also asked Wang Ping to lead 3,000 Wudang flying troops to guard the street pavilion. Not so much guarding. It's better to use these 50,000 or so people. As long as I can stay in the street pavilion for 10 days. Just let Zhuge Liang capture Shangui, stationed in Lailu city. Support court hearings at any time. Ma Su came through time that day. First there was a scene with Wang Ping. The news that he and Wang Ping are not getting along. It was passed on. Then he took Wang Ping and discussed it in detail. How to defend yourself in court. There is also Zhang He. When variable, good at welcoming towns. The battle is terrain. Nothing less than a plan. This is inherited in the Three Kingdoms system. Evaluation of Zhang He. That's about it. He is someone who can discern changes in the battle situation. Seize the opportunity. Be adaptable. Also talking. This man is on combat alert. Will observe the battle situation in real time. If something is wrong, will change his plans. So Ma Su felt even more. How many lives did Zhang and this person live in? He couldn't be a healer, and he led 800 people to become bald. Sun Shawan's operation. In his later years, he was killed by a certain Sima Wugue. Because of political factors, he was ordered to pursue, except Zhuge Liang. So when fighting Zhang He, Ma Su then based it on Zhang He's character. It's not a good idea to formulate such a false pretense. Strategies that fill the sky and cross the sea. Then reconcile and leave the camp. Burn the camp. As for Zhang He's 7 days of siege, no Shu troops were seen going down the mountain to fetch water. But the Shu army did not actually surrender. It was because he left the camp from Masu. He handed over his beast to the royal court. In order for the royal court to mobilize all the Han troops to meet the court. The moment when Wang Ting got the beast, there was uncontrollable excitement on his face. He is a general, a slave, an illiterate person. He also quarreled with Ma Su. Ma Su, however, directly gave his beast to him. Give yourself full responsibility for the warriors in court. What kind of trust is this? Wang Ting was thinking about it at that time. I will definitely follow General Ma in the future. He will help Han scholars throughout his life. The biggest feature of Wudang flying army is that it can cross mountains and ridges. When Zhang He came to the court, the back side of Jieting mountain is steep. And since ancient times, the public has been paying attention to three things and one thing. Therefore, the steep mountain of Jieting Mountain is remembered. Zhang He did not order the camp to be set up. Only the Wei army generals were ordered to take over Tingshan, and other entrances were strictly guarded. This gave Wudang Feijuan an opportunity. After Wei Jun fell asleep, Wudang Feijuan climbed the mountain behind the pavilion, changing of guard with the Han army on Jieting Mountain. Therefore, the Han army at Jie Pavilion was not what Zhang He thought. It's the same people. In fact, Wang Ping used Wudang Feijuan to rotate several batches. Ma Su figured out this plan and could only delay Zhang He. Zhang He cannot be held back, so he also arranged for Wang Ping. It is appropriate to send some prisoners to Zhang He. After Zhang He couldn't sit still and went up the mountain. They used the prisoners to burn Zhang He's food and grass. After Ma Su left, Wang Ping thought about his plan. In order to answer without making mistakes, Wang Ping also sent a message that Gao Xiang of Lucheng had come to help with his troops. These days, Wang Ping and Gao Xiang have always been prepared. As for Zhang He, because it was compensated by the smoke message released by Ma Su, most people are in an extremely relaxed mood, rushing up the mountain with excitement, but found Ma Su Fang empty camp. Then the camp at the foot of the mountain. The food was burned. It's been a roller coaster of emotions. Zhang Hejuan also showed some signs of military morale confusion. It all depends on Zhang He's calmness and continuous command, and he has a reputation. It won't cause chaos. But Wang Ping and Gao Xiang are not weak either. The two sides battled for more than 10 rounds, but the winner has not yet been determined. He was obviously in a tough fight. However, a turnaround came quickly. At this time, a red flag signaled the soldiers very suddenly inserted into the battlefield. Fu Bu himself was almost killed by swords several times. He left with all his strength. He was even afraid that Zhang He would not be able to hear the military orders. And he said it very loudly. The lightning line has been lost. Occupied by Wei Yan. General Chao Zhen was captured. Your Majesty ordered the general to retreat quickly. Defend Chang'an. As soon as these words came out, the guardsmen rioted. The morale of the army was in turmoil. And this is what the messenger shouted. Naturally, Wang Ping, Gao Xiang, and the Han army they led heard clearly. At this time, the morale of the Han army was greatly shaken. Wang Ping Gao Xiang, seize this opportunity. Wave the flag. Let the Han army take the opportunity to break up Zhang He's formation. Wang Ping even seized the opportunity. General Li Fu who shocked Zhang He. After Zhang He heard the news, dodged Gao Xiang's attack. The big crane retreated, turned around and ran away. At the same time, I wanted to eat this little soldier alive. Why did they rush in when the two armies were fighting? Also eat the eyebrow line. The news carried by the general was so big that Lala publicized it on the battlefield. Zhang He ran away. The guards behind him also ran with him. The little soldier who ordered the order didn't seem to know the effect of what he just shouted. Instead, he rode his horse to Zhang He's side. General Zhang. My general said that nothing is more important than His Majesty. General Zhang is also requested to rush to Chang'an as soon as possible. Your general. Only then did Zhang He understand. Guan. This messenger soldier is not a special messenger soldier in the army. It still sounds like someone doesn't want to. The messenger saw Zhang He and asked him. He quickly revealed his name as a general. I am a subordinate of General Anshi. General Anshi. Downthroat cat. The one who stands in the clan position. Stupid cat holding a big fist. Zhang He felt that he had to suppress his anger. I can't be in front of this messenger. Revealing his disrespect for the clan. At this time, the messenger came again. My general also asked me to bring a message to General Zhang. What did Zhang He say? The messenger seemed particularly proud. My general said, among all the generals with foreign surnames, my general values General Zhang the most. This time I was sent to inform General Zhang immediately. Wait for General Zhang to repel Wei Yan. Guard Chang'an. Received a reward from His Majesty. Don't forget that my general will inform you today. Finished. The messenger also said that he should go back early and tell Xiahou Mao. General Zhang He is on the way to support. Then he drove his horse and whipped his whip. Run very fast. What kind of generals bring out what kind of soldiers? Zhang He almost lost his expression after hearing this. Tighten the horse's rope. He almost knocked over his horse. Xiahou Mao has nothing but his status as a clan member. Look down on useless generals with foreign surnames. Relying on his clan status, he became the general of Anshi. He was beaten by Zhuge Liang. Lost the south fixture. He hid directly in Chang'an. Forget it. Can't he think about it with his pig brain? Send messengers to announce loudly on the battlefield. News that is not good for Wei. What consequences will it cause? If Zhang He didn't know very well, Xiahou Mao is a military idiot. He even doubted this Xiaohu's consort. Do you want to kill him? Zhang He. If Xiahou Mao, this messenger. There is no option to shout on the battlefield. He and Wang Ping, Gao Xiang, it's not certain who will win or lose this battle. It's time to pass the courtyard. Support Guo Huai. Defeat Zhuge Liang. That Xiao Yun who has no line. Can Wei Yan not retreat? Now Xiahou Mao's order is to clear the troops. Said this on the battlefield. Can Zhang He not return to Chang'an? It's too late to think about anything. Now, Zhang He only hopes to escape back to Chang'an smoothly. Wang Ping and Gao Xiang didn't expect it either. Why are we fighting in the opponent's camp? Why did one of our own show up? They seized the opportunity to expand the opening of the battle. After chasing Zhang He for 15 miles, I stopped chasing him. Can't catch up. I'm also afraid of what might happen to the messenger. Not one of our own, but the strategy of Weiguo. When the time comes, there will be an ambush on Longshan Road. Isn't it also equivalent to losing the court? Now it's better to hurry back to Jieting. Count the results of repairs and defense. Pass the message to the Prime Minister. It's best to listen to the Prime Minister's next arrangements. At the same time, the two did not ignore it. The news that the messenger just said. General Wei Yan occupied the Mei Line. General Wei Yan is not following Prime Minister Zhuge. Capture the upper limit. But he said that it was the day Zhang He arrived at Jieting. Ma Su had already prepared his troops and charged into battle. The country captured Chaozhen. I had to cheat and open the plumb line at night. Take over the coal line completely. Then Ma Su sent someone to deliver a message to Zhuge Liang. Requested that another Han army be sent to take over the coal line. Completely eat the coal line. The unworthy flying army rides on the steeds of tigers and leopards raised on coal lines, plus its own advantages. After a good day and night, the letter was delivered to Zhuge Liang. Zhuge Liang's mood these days has been really ups and downs. Report imaging. General Ma Su did not arrive at the base. General Wang Ping has divided his troops and left the camp. Why is the right intestine like this? After hearing about it, Ma Su did not camp according to his arrangement. Zhuge Liang was extremely worried. The answering position is special. Once on a business trip, it directly affects his layout in Longyu. And why is the right intestine still in conflict with Zijuan? Then Zhuge Liang knew. I have to get rid of the above rules as soon as possible. The Han army did not have many soldiers. Now there is no way to divide the troops to support Ma Su. Only by laying down the upper rules first. Only then can you have a chance of winning. But Guo Hua is not Ruoji either. He stayed on his right hand for 3 or 4 days. Then Zhuge Liang heard it. Report to the Prime Minister. General Ma pretended to be General Guan. Arrange your troops and charge into battle. I captured Chaozhen. Waste medicine. Zhuge Liang. Arrange your troops and charge into battle. What does Zhuge Liang know about these 4 words? But connected. Why can't he understand? Is this something the right intestine can do? Report to the Prime Minister. General Ma together with General Zhao took down the eyebrow line. Asked the Prime Minister to send an army to Meixian in order to maintain the eyebrow line. Hear the news. Zhuge Liang's hand waving the feather fan stopped. The right intestine is on the battlefield. It's really surprising. Could it be that this child used to drag the late emperor to talk about the art of war? Not to brag. It turns out that Zhuge Liang really has no one to use. Then Ma Su was sent to guard the reception pavilion. Can keep it for a month. Block Chao Weiss reinforcements. Unexpectedly, Ma Su gave him a huge surprise now. Actually won the plumb line. If we can completely hold on to the plumb line, there is no need to dwell on this. Prime Minister Wei Yan would like to send an army to support General Ma. After Wei Yan heard the news that Ma Su had occupied the Mei line, think about it for a moment. Come out immediately and ask for a fight. After 101, except Xiao Yun, Wei Yan can be regarded as the first military general, and he was an important minister promoted by the late emperor. He has to defend the Mei line. Zhuge Liang is also relieved. Then, Zhuge Liang immediately sent 10,000 troops to Wei Yan. He was ordered to march day and night. Head to coal line. Assist Ma Su to hold the coal line. After 1 day and 1 night, Wei Yan led his troops to the coal line. After Ma Suyan revealed her identity, Wei Yan was immediately welcomed into the coal line. Then he sent someone to notify General Deng Ji outside the city. Then Chao Zhen was saved. The medicine was pressed to the coal line. Subsequently, Ma Su immediately changed the flag of coal line. The Chinese flag was planted. It proves that the coal line has been captured by the Han army. Calculate it like this. Nearly 20,000 Han troops can guard the coal line. As for those guards who surrendered their clans, Wei Yan and Ma Su were picky. 6,000 people were selected and planned to be reorganized into the Han army. The remaining people were given 1 meal a day. Hungry to death. Close it first. Can't let it go. Meixian County has only been initially occupied. If only the remaining people were released. They all ran to Chang'an. Then Chao Rui pointed out a general. Bring these soldiers and fight back again. Namasu is just causing trouble for himself. Wait until this is finished. Ma Su Wei Yan Zhao Yun. Deng Zhitsai held a banquet in Meixian County. With these, Wei Guoxiang will keep in touch with his feelings. Soothe them. The alcohol content in ancient times was very low. This does not make Ma Su drunk, but it will make Ma Su feel a little dizzy. Ma Su decided to go to the tower and look out onto the platform to sober up. Unexpectedly, he walked up. But I saw a rather unexpected person there. Wei Yan in Romance of the Three Kingdoms written by Luo Guanzhong. It describes that Wei Yan has a guard in the back of her head. And after Zhuge Liang died of illness, he was the queen of Yuan dynasty. He wanted to seize power and was killed by Ma Dao. After being made into a TV series, there is an open scene, "Who dares to kill me?" But in official history, Wei Yan died because of Zhuge Liang's death. He died due to the power struggle within the Jingzhou faction. He was arrested by Yang Yi for treason after Ma Su accepted his original memory. In fact, he was not sure whether what he was wearing was Romance of the Three Kingdoms. It is also the historical world recorded in the Three Kingdoms because it's in native memory. Things in Romance of the Three Kingdoms and Chronicles of the Three Kingdoms both happen. For example, Liu Bei and Huashao Bo Wangpa. For example, the 5 tiger generals. The 3 in Taoyuan became sworn brothers. It's probably a comprehensive version of the Romance of the Three Kingdoms and the Romance of the Three Kingdoms. Therefore, Ma Su is not sure that he is currently standing on a high platform. Who is Wei Yan looking east? Wei Yan. But no matter which Wei Yan, what is certain is that Wei Yan is ruthless. After Liu Biyu died, regarding seeing who is a poor bidder, that's about after death, Wei Yan thinks that everyone is a poor bidder. Moreover, Yuan Shen also got an arm's-length price comparison from Zhao Lai Tina. Wei Yan didn't like Yuan Shen anyway, so Ma Su and Wei Yan get along. That's what ordinary colleagues do. Whenever something happens at work, I just nod. I can't say a few words. General Wei. Ma Su said hello politely. Come care here. Wei Yan glanced sideways at Ma Su. Didn't answer Ma Su's question. Just a slight nod. It's like saying hello to Ma Su. Then he turned and looked eastward. Ma Su saw Wei Yan like this. Search in your heart.